Okay, here we go. I think the only guy that we had that did not make it into the end was Hippolyte. He had a knee, so I told the guys in the locker room a minute ago. It really feels like I'm on repeat here. Just these guys are finding a way to fight until the end and win these games. And so, once again, not our prettiest game. We had a number of things go on, and drops on offense, and just we weren't playing consistent or efficient football on that side. And then defensively, we had a couple explosives. They doubled up on us at halftime there with the field goal before the half, and then the touchdown out at halftime. And it's easy to feel the momentum swing in their favor, and yet our guys didn't waver. They stayed consistent with it and fought until the end. Give their guys a lot of credit. That's a really good defensive front. I thought they came out and competed. And made it really challenging for us on offense. And I think this quarterback that they have is going to be a really good player for a long time as well. So, credit to our guys for fighting through there at the end and coming away with one. So, go ahead and open it up from there.
And the drops offensively, did you see consistent problems as far as causing that?
No, if it had been popping up in the course of practice or something like that, I'd be more concerned. But as of right now, I think it's an anomaly and something that we'll certainly talk about and address. But I don't think that's really who we are.
When you guys signed CJ, there's a lot of question marks and uncertainty about how that's going to go. And to have him come out and just be a total playmaker the first 2 weeks, what do you think that has done for you guys and for him in that locker room?
Well, I would say this. I gave him one of the game balls, and he kind of alluded to it. You get football taken away from you, which he felt like last couple months that's his story. And now he's here with a bunch of guys rooting for him, and he's grateful for the opportunity. And so it gives you just a greater sense of appreciation. And so he's always been a phenomenal football player. I think he's found a good home here in Chicago. Our guys are gravitating towards his swagger, his playmaking ability. I think he's quickly becoming one of us. So certainly not surprised by his performance. I've seen it for a long time now.
How would you describe the way that Caleb made plays with his feet in the fourth quarter, especially?
Yeah, I tell you, he looks like a Houdini back there in the backfield because, like I said, that's a really good pass rushing front that they've given a lot of teams fits. I think Burns is leading the NFL in sacks, and so there are times where he's trying to escape and making some things happen. He had a couple throws down the field, but like you said, over 50 yards again rushing for the second week in a row. And I thought in the fourth quarter there we really needed that as a shot in the arm to end up winning that ball game. So credit to him.
And how do you weigh the strong finish, versus putting yourself in that position in the first place?
Yeah, well, it's. I feel like that's happened a few times for us now, and the good news about it is our guys are starting to. I shouldn't say starting to. They have this belief that we're going to find a way. In the fourth quarter, provided it's somewhat close, we're going to find a way to come out on top of this thing, and it's week in and week out. They're proving that. Now, we'd like to take it to the next step as a football team to where we're up by a score or two in the fourth quarter early on, and we can shut the teams out that way. But that's hopefully next week. We'll take them as they come. But once again, we found a way to win, and that's the most important thing.
You talked about wanting to be at your best by December, and you said the last couple of games, this hasn't been your best performance, but to be 6-3 despite that, to have that much headway in the standings, what do you think that gives you as far as an opportunity as you're trying to fix things?
Yeah, well, I see improvement. I can tell you just offensively, this was we talk about playing clean football. I know we made a number of mistakes, and the drops certainly popped up, but 3 for 4 in the red zone. We only had 3 penalties as a team here this week. Those are 2 areas that have really plagued us. Our red zone defense was we held them 1 for 4, and so yeah, I do see us still getting better each and every week, even though it might not look that way when you're necessarily watching the game. There's growth. There's growth each and every week right now. So you're right. We got to continue to get better. We got some really good opponents coming up here, and we will be playing our best football in December.
It seems in those moments of improvisation that Caleb seems to be at his strongest. how do you balance allowing him to have that room to improvise, but also staying within the system that you expect?
Yeah, and so that's the more time we spend together, we watch the tape and we go over every play in practice, every play in the game, and he and I are seeing it exactly the same. And so he knows when he should step up and try to just dump the ball down to a check down right away. I thought he did that a couple times here today, and then other times where the rush is on him pretty quick, and he's got to do something special. And so that's the unique thing about his skill set is he's got that ability. As a play caller, it certainly helps me out because I don't feel like I need to be perfect with these play calls. Like he's gonna make these things right, and so that's the balance, that's the trust that we have as a quarterback and a play caller.
Ben, do you have a package of play calls for those kind of do or die drives? And do you also notice that Caleb's intensity levels up in those situations?
I don't notice anything different about him. I think he's been locked in probably. This week in particular was probably his best week of preparation, just as a whole, from start to finish. And so I feel like he was locked in from the moment I saw him this morning up until that last drive. And so I think he's doing a good job with all that. But yeah, I mean, there are certain plays that we have for certain situations, but more often than not, I'm thinking players instead of those particular plays. Who can we get this ball to that's going to come through for us?
Was there a more concerted effort to get Rome the ball today?
We always have a concerted effort to get Rome the ball, to get DJ the ball, to get Luther the ball, to get OZ. It's all these guys. They all have plays, and so yeah, each and every week, Colston, Cole, all these guys, they deserve a chance to have the ball in their hands.
You guys' defense will have bigger challenges than this coming ahead. How do you see the defense getting better?
Every week changes. I do think, CJ's presence, he's going to continue to get better within this scheme. Hopefully we'll get TJ back at some point up front. I think I got to take a look at how Book did today, but like I said, Sweat's really been coming on since the bye week. I can feel his presence out there. And then maybe we'll get some reinforcements in the back end at some point as well. So I think we're going to be just fine. Each week's its own story. I keep saying that. So just because we play well one week doesn't mean it carries over. Just because we play poorly one week doesn't mean that carries over either. So end of the day, we just need to continue to find ways to win.
Does CJ kind of bring that kind of emotional intensity that Kyler did, or do you have a number of guys in the defense that does that?
Shoot, I haven't been around Kyler a whole lot yet. He's been dinged up, and so I can't speak to that. But no, listen. I love what CJ brings to the table right now. You feel him out there. He's a football player. He loves to be competing, and he finds himself around the ball quite a bit. And so I think we all appreciate that.
What do you think of DJ playing through the injury, and how bad is that?
Unknown yet, but he's doing. He'll do everything he can. I think we got a bunch of selfless guys on offense right now that, like I said, they're going to do whatever they can to be out on the field for their buddies.
I would say just the understanding of this is a National Football League, and we have a great offense, great defense, and great special teams and great coaches. And so the confidence in us. And the confidence in the coaches in those moments is there. And I think that shows in those moments. Defense shutting people down in those moments, towards the end of the game, not allowing them to go down and drive and, kick a field goal or whatever. Well, they need to score at the end. And, I think for offensively, it shows the calmness. Obviously, it wasn't our best game on offense. And the calmness at the end of the game, the belief, the faith, the hope, and like I've spoke about before, living in the know. I think that's where we were, and we knew that it was going to be a full 60-minute game, and that's what it took.
On the winning touchdown run, what's the original intent of that play, and then take us through your different?
Yeah, it was a naked keeper, and once I booted around, I saw that Cole got taken by I think a corner, and then from there I didn't see a backer. And so I felt the grass to be able to just keep it and go, and obviously having Cole in front of me helped. And Cole made a great block for us, and just took it up the sideline and scored.
When you're down 10 and you kick off down the sideline, and they get you down at the 2.
Yep.
Like you were having a hard time kind of catching your breath there.
Yeah, that was a long run.
When you're calling to play at the line of scrimmage, what's going through your head, and knowing that kind of in a scramble situation in Baltimore,
you had something similar, it didn't go great.
Yeah, score, get the ball in the end zone. That was the only focus, only goal. It didn't matter how tired, how fresh, how any of that. It was score, be able to get the defense back on the field, and have them go stop, which they did, and then allow us to go back out there and have a game-winning drive.
When you're breathing heavily and tired and all of that, how do you calm yourself down?
A few deep breaths, and then from there, it's you kind of let the moment take over, and understand where you are, and you focus and revert back onto your training and things like that.
Your ability to avoid pass rushers, especially in the backfield. I think Ben called you Houdini.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you've always been able to do? How much is that as natural? Is it instincts? How do you describe your ability to do that?
I'd say some of it's instincts. I think some of it's lifting and training. I think the other part of it is visualizing those moments that, the defender's leverage and things like that, and being able to take advantage of his leverage. And then other than that, it's just being smart at those moments. If it's time to throw the ball away or dirt it, anything like that, dirt it. If it's not, and I can make a play, go make a play for this team and, do whatever I need from there. But, I think it's those couple things that I do, throughout the week, throughout the year, visualizing those moments.
You talked about living in the know and your confidence in these late game situations that you guys can get it done. And what does it mean for you guys, and what does it do for you emotionally when you do come through, you do get these wins, and you have these winning moments?
Yeah, I've said it a couple times now that it does build confidence that we can. It doesn't matter how the deficit we're at. It doesn't matter how much we're up. It doesn't matter what happened throughout the game. That we can come through as a team, and that's what we did today. But we would like to start figuring out as a team, putting up points, stopping them, putting up points, stopping them, putting up points, stopping them, and getting to the point where we're just kind of marching down the field. Defense is stopping them. We're putting up a lot of points and winning these games a little bit earlier than we are these past couple games.
Caleb, how do you make sense of this offense? You struggle for 3.5 quarters.
Yep.
Turn it on at the end. How do you know kind of what's real and what's not?
Yeah, we know who we are. We know we're real. We know that some of the issues we had today were just may have been a drop here, may have been a drop there in certain moments, and it's those are frustrating moments. But it's something that those moments happen, and so you don't waver, you don't lose the confidence. You stay right where you are. You understand that those moments are going to happen. You keep trying to lead your guys, and then from there, when it hits, you just keep harping on that. Here we go. We had a few drops towards the end, and you don't put those guys down. You don't go over and curse them out or anything like that. You encourage them that it's time to make a play, and I need y'all. I need y'all right here, right now. It's time to go win the game.
Caleb scrambled down to the 2.
Yep.
Can you just take us into the mindset when you cut inside rather than go out of bounds?
Yep. It's time to go make a play, time to go win a game. That was kind of my mindset coming out of second half.
Caleb, that you hit Colston on an extended play.
Yep.
What do you see on the throw, and then obviously he makes a pretty nice catch?
Yeah. They dropped back, had a bunch of time. Guys were all over the place, getting knocked off routes or anything like that. So it was just time to go make a play. Colston, our relationship is building, and he kind of knew where he was in the zone, and just settled down for me and made a great catch, and turned it upfield, got a first down for us.
On the stop route to Burton, there at the end.
At the end.
Yeah, at the end. What did you see in terms of him being able?
Yeah, I saw him rotate down right before the snap, and in that moment I knew it was one-on-one over there with Lou, and as Lewis said, it's when he gets the ball in his hands and he's one-on-one, he's pretty dangerous. And so I have full belief. It's something that we've been throwing for. I think we've had it up for about 3 weeks now, and so just felt confident in that moment, and felt confident in him. He ran a great route, made a great catch, and got a few yards after.
Caleb, when the CJ got that forced fumble and Deshaun recovered, how much of a momentum swing was that, and what was going through your mind in that moment?
Yeah, let's go put up some points. Let's try and score. Let's keep this momentum going. I think we need to do a better job. Just when those moments happen, when they get a turnover on downs, when they get a turnover, any of those moments, just go out there, score, put up points. It's a big momentum shift when those can happen and those moments happen. And I think we've done a solid job, but we can always be better.
Caleb, you told us before the bye week, after that Raiders win, that when you get in 2-minute mode, your heart rate drops, you get calm. Have you ever actually tracked what your heart rate is in those moments?
I haven't. I don't actually know how to track it, or not.
It's more of a feeling.
Yeah, I can feel my body just kind of settle down, and I think that's important for me when I'm out there in those moments, but also the calmness, demeanor of when I'm in the huddle, looking at those guys in the eyes, and the belief, the faith. Like I said, living in the known in those moments, it provides a certain level of confidence for us to be able to go out there and deliver.
On the
So,
jump
Ben,
ball,
if you had,
go ahead, Phil.
okay, I'm sorry. I asked Ben to that point, if you have kind of a different level of intensity do a drive.
Me or Ben?
No, you. And you
Okay.
said that you felt like you were locked in since this morning. Like
Yeah, I've been. Yeah. No, I feel that I had a good solid week of prep, and I felt confident going into this game, seeing the defense and things like that, and I think that's just the whole game was that, and we gotta find ways to make plays as a team, as a collective, get the dirty yards, make the big explosive plays that were there, but just speaking on myself, I felt that I was locked in throughout the whole game, just trying to focus on keeping the guys in the game and trying to go win the game.
The third and goal pass, or the third and goal pass to Rome, the jump ball that.
Yep.
went out of bounds. Do you have an option to hand off there, and what's?
Yeah. So they end up going. I believe it was. I got to go back and watch, but they rotated down on the right side, and so they would have too many people in the box, too many men's in the box, and so that was the read to throw it out to Rome, and the DB ended up cutting off Rome on his route, and so just threw it out of bounds. But there is an pass option on that, but when they get too many people in the box, it negates that part of it, and you throw the fade.